Hi, I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac. Last time, the Penguin and Lola Lasagna, Signora Lola Lasagna, née Lulu Schultz, were plotting to fix the Bruce Wayne handicap by switching an old nag for Lola's prize-winning filly parasol. The problem? They don't have any cash to bet on their scheme. The solution? Steal a priceless book on umbrellas and parasols from the library and sell it. Penguin will handle that. What he doesn't know is Barbara Gordon sleeps with the library's burglar alarm, so she knows he's broken in. Now she, Commissioner Gordon, Chief O'Hara, Batman, and Robin are all converging on the library and the Penguin.
Caught with the goods, eh, Penguin?
Oh, how did you get unglued?
Hand over that folio, you feathered felon.
And come quietly.
Oh, I always knew I'd come to the end of the road.
However, briefly, they never think to take his umbrella away. He makes his escape with the book just before Barbara arrives.
Well, I guess I'd better phone Bruce Wayne. As head of the library's board of trustees, I'm sure he'd be upset at the loss of such a rare item.
Is there anything in this city that Bruce Wayne isn't the head of?
You needn't bother Mr. Wayne needlessly, Miss Gordon.
Needlessly? That folio is invaluable.
I'll have that folio back within an hour. I suspected he might make this move, and I've prepared a counter one. Today is the day of the Bruce Wayne Foundation handicap at Gotham Park Racetrack. I'm sure Mr. Wayne has many other important things on his mind.
That was unnecessary. Let her call him and leave a message with Alfred. Problem solved, and you didn't have to draw so much attention to it. In fact, it wasn't a problem until you called attention to it. In Penguin's bookshop, Lola has put the finishing touches on Parasol to make him look like a different horse. Penguin is gathering the bets for his part of the scheme.
Penguin's bookshop. Hello, Sammy. Iron Marshmallow in the big race. No, listen, Sammy, I got a tip it's going to be scratched. Matter of fact, I got a tip that all but two of the horses are going to be scratched. Parasol and a late entry by the name of Bumbershoot. But the big bet, Sammy, is Parasol.
Wait, all the other horses are going to be scratched? Well, yes, it's part of Penguin's plan. He'll also have Parasol's jockey snatched and substitute a different rider so nobody gets wise. And he's pushing his clients to bet on Parasol so it raises the odds when Bumbershoot wins and they make more money. As soon as they have some money to bet, that is.
All I have to do is to unload this folio there and get some money to bet.
What's that, the racing news?
No, this is a Saturday review of folios. All the rich collectors advertise it.
Saturday review of folios. All the rich collectors advertise in it. Because we don't have enough runtime to find a more believable way to move it in a hurry. Just go with it. He just happens to find an ad for exactly what he has listed by Mr. A.L. Fred, address at a hotel. I wonder who Mr. A.L. Fred is.
Hello, will you give me Mr. A.L. Fred? This is Penguin Bookshop. Hello, Mr. A.L. Fred.
Yes. This is A.L. Fred.
Alfred meets the Penguin and pays him $10,000 for the folio. Later, Barbara Gordon is talking to Bruce Wayne.
The priceless folio of famous parasols we keep in a locked case was stolen earlier this morning. Yes, by the Penguin.
1 second, please. Yes, Alfred tells me that Batman returned it just a few minutes ago, Miss Gordon.
When Penguin hears about it, he's furious and says Barbara Gordon will pay. He prepares a toy penguin that shoots poison gas and has his men deliver it to her with a note that is from an admirer. Meanwhile, back at the racetrack, things are going from bad to worse for the officials.
Every horse except Parasol has been scratched.
That's right, Mr. Wayne. And Wally Bootmaker's disappeared.
The most famous jockey on the circuit at the time was Willie Shoemaker. Or Wally Bootmaker, if you prefer.
And there's someone here with a last-minute entry called Bumbershoot. Yes, he's in my office now. Well, he has his entry fee. Says he's the owner-trainer.
And jockey.
Bruce says, let him enter, but don't tell him there'll be another late entry from the Wayne stables. He can find that out when it happens. The late entry's name is Wainbow. We'll have Dick ride the fake Parasol and do his best to win. But whom can we get to ride Wainbow?
No, I wouldn't even know where to look for her. Her? Batgirl.
Gosh, yeah, she'd be great. On our side and all.
And all, Dick. But who is she? Where is she?
I have a hunch she'll be calling you soon. She's definitely the right size and weight. Does she know anything about handling a horse?
A little toy penguin. Oh, what a cute gadget. And look, it winds up. Oh, be careful, Myrtle.
Oh, be careful of a darling little thing like this.
Myrtle!
Did Penguin just kill Barbara's friend? No, Myrtle is okay. She got a minor snootful, but only enough to make her dizzy for a bit. Alfred comes in and takes charge of the deadly toy.
I'm going to call my father.
One moment. I think this toy penguin has probably breathed his last poisonous breath. And it's just possible that a certain live penguin may be rendered equally useless. Can we have a word together?
Bruce Wayne is having to hold the phone away from his ear because the racing secretary is shouting into it. He's had enough of all the absurd machinations and manipulations and demands that the race be canceled. The only way he would change his mind is if Batman himself told him face to face that the race has to go on. Let's take care of that.
This race must be run. When it's over, I'll tell you why. And I'm sure Mr. Wayne himself will make a public announcement.
Very well, Batman. I still think it's a farce, but I'll bow to your judgment.
How do you know that's really Batman? Anybody could put on a costume and pretend to be him and you wouldn't know. Hey, for all you know, that's Bruce Wayne under there pretending to be Batman, so you'll do what he tells you. How about that, huh?
And Lola Lasagna meets her new jockey.
I wish you were Spanish.
Si, senora.
Oh, you are Spanish. Do you speak Spanish?
Si, senora.
Good. It's nice to have a Spanish-speaking jockey on a Spanish-speaking horse.
Si, senora.
Good thing she knows enough Spanish to tell he's Spanish, too. Penguin recognizes him.
You know who that kid is up on that phony nag of yours?
A darling Spanish boy. I'm so glad you hijacked Wally Bootmaker. He might have smelled a mouse.
I smell a mouse trap. Did you put the bet down on Bumbershoot?
We still have 10 minutes.
Oh, get going. Meet me outside the jockey room right after the race.
He never got around to correcting her, so now Dick Grayson is a nice Spanish boy. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear all those Spanish language lessons are paying off.
Never mind, I got it.
You might have noticed the paint on Parasol's nose is starting to run and his blaze is starting to show through. They'd better hurry. As they move onto the track, a third horse joins them.
What is that third horse doing down there?
A very late entry, madam. I believe he's called Wainbow.
Well, that looks like a girl riding it.
Doesn't it, though?
Alfred may be a proper gentleman's gentleman, but he's not blind. Lola places her bet just under the wire and the race begins.
Bumbershoot is second. Wainbow is third. They're coming down the stretch the first time. It's Parasol in front by 2 lengths. Bumbershoot is second. 2.5 lengths. Wainbow on the inside. Passing the stand the first time is Parasol in front by 2.5 lengths. Bumbershoot is second by 2 lengths on the inside.
I showed a little bit of that just to show you that the commentary has nothing to do with what we're seeing on the screen. I guess this guy was calling some other race. Of course, Wainbow wins it easily, so Lola tries to slip away quietly. Penguin takes a more direct approach. She's not the only one going after him.
It's a very dark day for racing in Gotham City, Mr. Wayne. Mr. Wayne?
He decided dealing with the Penguin squawking was less of an assault on his ears than listening to your whining.
I'll change. And we better make tracks.
Why? We haven't done anything wrong?
We haven't done anything right. We just lost 10 grand. And the paint is running faster than the horse did.
Yeah, we saw. Batgirl follows him into the locker room.
No need to change clothes, Penguin. They'll issue you a nice striped wardrobe where you're going.
Fall, armband, visor, bridle that filly.
She's doing fine until he calls out 3 more henchmen.
Your odds haven't been too good this afternoon, Penguin.
All conveniently named henchmen. Saves time.
But 5 men against 1 girl. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I'm enjoying this. Don't bother.
No bother to return the many favors you've done for us, Batgirl.
Mash 'em!
Time for the final fight. You have to love what Batgirl is doing to Penguin. Swing your Penguin round and round, pick him up and throw him to the ground. We saw her slip away. Gordon, O'Hara, and some cops come in with Lola.
I admit I fixed the race, but I fixed it so the best horse won.
Regardless of that, Mr. Penguin, I'm sure that the results of the handicap will be declared permanently unofficial.
And you'll be declared permanently incarcerated. You too, Lulu Schultz.
Lulu Schultz? I am Signora Lola Lasagna.
She's okay going to jail as long as she gets to be Lola and not Lulu. Gotta love priorities. And it's time for our weekly, whatever you call this.
That girl, she's gone again. Like spray. Like a cloud. Like lightning.
Like somebody who's running out of similes. This is what she does. They're not used to it yet?
Little dusty, Barbara?
Oh, hi, Daddy. I was just trying to spruce up the Egyptology section of the library, but the sands of time seem to have pretty well buried it.
I can see where this is going. Commissioner Gordon explains what he's been doing at the racetrack, then says, to celebrate, I thought I'd take my favorite librarian out on the town.
Your favorite librarian would love it. Just let me freshen up a little bit.
What's the matter? King Tut.
He takes a moment to explain who Tut is.
He's a split personality, a modern-day Yale professor some of the time.
And the rest of the time.
A reincarnated Egyptian despot. Old as the pyramids, wise as the Sphinx.
Tut was 18 when he died. Not exactly as old as the pyramids. And the Sphinx is a rock. Our King Tut is about that wise, all right.
Oh, he sounds fascinating.
He heads off to call Batman, not noticing how jazzed his daughter is to have a real arch criminal right there in the library.
What is he doing in this library? Watch the next episode for the awesome answer.
If they keep real ancient Egyptian scrolls sitting out in the open like that where anybody can pick them up and fiddle with them, first, they'd be made of papyrus, not paper. Second, if you took one from Tut's time and tried to unroll it like that, it'd crumble to dust. So I'm assuming those are paper replicas of the real things, which are kept in climate-controlled cases and only accessible by trained scholars like any good library would do. Sorry, I've been a librarian too. That scene hurts my senses. You know what else hurts my senses? The idea that the Penguin is flat broke. I do not see that happening. He's way more shrewd than that. He'd be on to another scheme like this long before the money from the last one ran out. That's what career criminals like him do. A third thing that hurts my senses is having Ethel Merman on your show to do nothing but talk. Find an excuse for her to sing, for Pete's sake. We did it with Leslie Gore. We could have done it with Ethel Merman. When she's talking about how far she's fallen, she could whip out a few lines of secondhand Rose. Any excuse, just quit wasting her main talent like that. King Tut was and is one of people's favorite villains. Most of the credit goes to Victor Buono's performances, and I admit that he's really grown on me since his first appearance. Mr. Buono has gotten more and more comfortable letting himself go in the part and having fun with it, which always makes for a better performance. We'll see what he's got up his robe sleeves next time. Until then, I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac.